Hello and welcome back to Gingerman. Today I'm on the edge of my hometown Fife, heading to a little hamlet called Pattiesmuir. Now, I've been walking along this road for years since I was a young boy, and never before have I ever once thought about the history of this little area until today. So, forgot what you're called, Pattiesmuir? Show me what you got. Peace.
I'll turn on the camera, test my microphone, I'm firing up the podcast, sound waves coming to your home. Gingerman with a cam is here to make your day. Gingerman with a cam, I'd like to hear you say today.
Here we go. Gingerman nostalgia trip unlocked. I grew up in this area of Fife, Camden, and this was one of my favourite places to just come and explore. So it's always been in my nature to head out into the woods, into the trees. But along this little trip, there is a little village called Pattiesmuir. There's a cemetery, Douglas Park or Douglas Bank Cemetery. Yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of woodland walks and things to explore and learn about. Now, I know up here somewhere there's a little bomb shelter that we used to try and go in and explore as kids. It's my first port of call, see if it's still there. There's some rubble from a building. It might be difficult to find because it's a bomb shelter, and it's buried into the ground. I can see some graffiti. I think this is what we're aiming for. You never know what you're walking on around here. I'm currently surrounded by jaggies, like in every direction. I'm just gonna have to just go for it. I feel like it's way more overgrown than it was in the 90s when I would have first come here. Way more. There's an even bigger one here. There are trees growing out of them now. Right, I'm trying to find my way back to the path now. Right, I'm a bit bored of walking through the jaggies. Try to find my way back to a path. The path to Pattiesmuir. But if you're wondering, well of course you're thinking, what are all these wee bomb shelters all about? I think they're bomb shelters. I'm assuming they're bomb shelters. Pretty sure they're bomb shelters. Anyway, what are they all about? They're about World War II and the proximity to the dockyard at Fife. Look. You can see the big Babcock crane, that is the dockyard, and that is a big target for the Luftwaffe in World War II. So you need places to hide out, you know, just in case. But I think they missed their targets. So it's an absolutely cracking day. I may look overdressed, but it was freezing this morning. I'm probably going to have to take off my cap. Oh look, I've got a twig in my hat as well, so luckily I took that off there. Oh dear, I'll be sweating by the time I get to Pattiesmuir. So when you walk along here, you're surrounded by farmers' fields either side of you. And as I said, he's got his, sounds like he's got a shotgun out to scare away the birds. So every so often I keep shiting my pants every time he loads one off. I can hear all the critters, the insects. I can hear it all. That's a big massive bumblebee. Look at this, it's springtime alright. I've walked along here so many different times, and then one of my memories that I forgot about was when I was younger, like 14, 15, one of the gifts I got was a camcorder at Christmas. This was pre-phones with cameras, so you couldn't just willy-nilly film everything. And me and a bunch of friends came along here, just doing some silly young boy stuff. And we filmed, I filmed it all, and we used to watch it back together. Again, pre-putting things on YouTube, I guess. We would just sit and watch it on the camcorder, connected to the telly. Aye, simple times. Rudimentary YouTube in real life. Yeah, this is us actually coming into Pattiesmuir now. You can see the cemetery just up there. That's where I done my Halloween car camp out in. This is an old pig house that used to be able to actually get right into, but they've double fenced it, plus the weeds and the jaggies have overgrown, so you can't get into it. However, when I was younger, we were in there with my video camera. Minimal disease pigs. Probably shouldn't have gone in there. So, before the big reveal, I'll give you some background history. Originally, Pattiesmuir, well, I didn't know that, began as an agricultural hamlet in the 17th century, although there has been evidence discovered of prehistory settlements from the Bronze Age. Of course, it's a beautiful wee location here. It's got something calming about it. It's more peaceful when the farmers know shooting blanks into the sky. Anyway, during the late 18th and early 19th century, Pattiesmuir underwent a spike in population as the hamlet expanded to house-hand weavers, with linen becoming a growing industry in West Fife during this period. The advent of the industrial age and the invention of the power loom then sent the Pattiesmuir population from a peak of 190, which isn't that many to be honest, in 1857 into decline. At its peak, the hamlet had a blacksmith's, a college and 3 public wells. The hamlet was assigned a conservation status in 1974. And there you go. There's a richer history to this area than I realised. And the fact that it's been given the conservation status is really cool. See, I've walked along here so many times, not realising that these were weavers' cottages from the Industrial Revolution. There we go. They've got a sign on their door for it. It says Craigie Cottage, but look how nice it is. Look how nice this wee building is. It's the same, this isn't finished, but I'm sure this will be finished sometime in the future. There's a car here that's got Night Rider in it. So, this is a protest sign. You have to imagine living here with 8 more houses, 24 more cars, DPD and UPS delivery trucks, click and collect traffic, visitor traffic, residents reversing. So it would appear something controversial is happening. I think maybe they've built more houses along this end as well, because there's a few more cottages there. But other than the cottages along here, that's all there is. And you are, as I say, maybe that 20-minute walk into the south to go to Sainsbury's right on the edge there. So it's kind of a perfect little spot for peace and tranquility. I understand. But it's a political matter, not for the Gingerman to discuss. It's for you to watch and say, hey, I think there should be more houses, or hey, they're right, no more houses. There it is, greenwashed, overpriced, unwelcome. The developer destroyed a poppy field to call this poppy fields. Well, listen, if anyone's destroying poppy fields, I'm against it. I don't like things being destroyed. I didn't know any of this was going on. Ingle Nuke Cottage opposes this development. If you oppose the development, you put one of these signs on your front. Be interesting. I wonder how many people live here now. It's peak 190. I can tell you right now, there's no 190 people here. And you know what I mean? You're just looking at the superficial stuff when you're wee, and then as I've grown older, it's like I'm looking at the depth of the building now. You know, I used to always think there should be a post office here. A wee cute post office, but we don't need it. I've not seen any more signs, protest signs along this end, but I'll keep my eye open for them. East Thorn Cottage. Go. West End Cottage opposes the development also. There's another opposer. We've got an opposer. This is a real-time issue happening in the hamlet of Pattiesmuir. I've not really seen anyone walking about to ask them any questions. But there we go. Thinking of buying? Read the signs. Do your research. There you go. It's happening all over the place. How is this development environmentally friendly? For me, that's the key. Is we live in an age where if you're building, everything has to be thinking about the environment now. And this is it. This is the entirety of Pattiesmuir in front of your eyes. I guess the real question is then, do you think that there should be more houses developed here or left as it is? It's interesting to see that the residents have got the signs up. I've not seen the signs in every house, so that would suggest that not everyone agrees that there shouldn't be houses built. However, the one thing I think is they shouldn't be destroying poppy fields. What did the poppy fields ever do? Right, so I know what you're thinking. Is that it? Is that the end of the episode? Have you completed Pattiesmuir? Well, technically, that's Pattiesmuir. However, I would call this whole area Pattiesmuir. I mean, you could say we've got Douglas Bank Cemetery and then into the fields behind it, but any time when we're younger and you said, you're coming to Pattiesmuir, this is Pattiesmuir. Pattiesmuir, the actual village part, was just en route to Pattiesmuir for us. So for this episode, we're still en route to Pattiesmuir technically. I never knew this wee path was on the Fife Pilgrim's Way. This isn't the way I came. I done the Coorous start, so if you start at North Queensferry, you'll come this way. Interesting. This is my favourite bit coming up here, and there's beautiful views over the Forth to the Three Bridges. You can see up to Dunfermline to the Abbey. It really is a powerful little spot. You can imagine someone during the Industrial Revolution just coming up to this spot and looking out, obviously not seeing the Three Bridges, but looking at the Forth, looking at the landscape around them, because they didn't have drones or planes or things to see from above like we do today, so their perspective of the world would be so different. And it's just yeah, and these places like out here have barely been touched in the last 200-300 years that we know of. It's It's a cool spot, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm getting at. It's a nice wee walk. I love this bit here, it's just like a big open space. Just roam around, explore, giant playground for children, adults, everyone. It's nature at its finest. Yeah, you can see when the dogs are running around here, the dogs absolutely love it here. It's just a really good spot. Cherish these spots. And I guess it makes me think about the housing development in Pattiesmuir, that it is good that people stand up against it, because if people don't, then we do lose our nice spaces like this. So, aye, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Look at this. It's like a bunch of beavers have been here. Oh, there's a duck. There's a duck in the field. There's a duck in the field. That dog is going berserk. Oh, there's a tree swing. Right there. Well, it's a different one. It's new. It's evolved. I tell you something, right? This is the most bizarre looking tree swing I've seen in a while. But it's a good slab. They've got some sort of crazy pulley system going on here. Right, interesting. Is this the spot? This is the spot. Okay, so this is the spot I was looking for. It just seems different. I'm going to have a shot in the tree swing once I've had the drone up and had my piece. But someone's torched this giant log that was here. Oh well. Here now. It's peace time. Drone time. Oh. I just need to say thank you to my patron legends who without I wouldn't even been able to get this innocent smoothie, this smoked ham, cheddar cheese sandwich and this dual Yorkie on the Sainsbury's meal deal. It was fantastic. I also want to thank Nicola Houston who got me a coffee via my PayPal. You are a legend. In fact, these are all legends. Your names are coming up the screen now. If you want to be a patron legend, get involved, click the link below, or you just want to buy me a coffee or help me get my meal deal, just send me some money on PayPal, that'd be great. Thanks. Peace. Let me tell you, this tree swing proved quite difficult to get on. I thought, you know what, it'll look nice. The drone in the sky, me on the tree swing. But I don't know if it's going to be seen on the footage, but I might add it in as me getting my foot stuck trying to get onto it because I'm too much of a short arse to have got onto it. And I just needed to jump, but it was bouncing. Anyway, it was fun when I got on it, but it was tricky. It was hard work, but we got there. Here's another interesting nugget of information. For more than 200 years, a building known as the college has existed in the hamlet. One of its members, Andrew Carnegie, known as the Professor, was the grandfather of philanthropist Andrew Carnegie, who was to immigrate to America. You can see that in my Andrew Carnegie episode, and make his great wealth in the steel industry during rapid industrialisation. Until recently, it has acted as a community hub. The college was repurposed in 2022 and is now rented to a business. Now, I want to know, where is the hub? Is it across the road towards the dockyard? Because I didn't see a big college building here. That's incredible that there was a college here that Andrew Carnegie's granddad was a professor at. If you want to follow the Pilgrim's Way, you go up that way. I've done the Pilgrim's Way. I'm going back into Pattiesmuir to conclude my day and find out more about this development situation. That's hot topic. Hot topic. It's crazy because when you stand at certain points, it does feel like you are in the middle of nowhere. And it's just this little solitary space. And you see from the drone footage how close we are to the Rosyth dockyard, the Forth, the surrounding town of Dunfermline. We're really packed right in there, but it still stands in its own little space, Pattiesmuir. It's pretty cool when you see it from the sky. There we go. On a clear day like today, it's an incredible spot to view Rosyth, Inverkeithing. You can even see Dalgetty Bay, just, and the three bridges. This is actually probably a nicer spot for having your lunch. It's got a big flat rock at it for sitting on. An incredible view. Didn't tell everyone about it though, because it'll be busy. There's toilets in the cemetery. However, I'll point something out to you. It's got windows so you can watch people peeing and pooing, so I mean I wouldn't recommend it, but that's why you shouldn't have sort of head level windows that you could... Oh, what you got there, pal? Aye. Also this wee building gives me sort of old school building vibes, that creepy old school vibe. It is in a cemetery as well, so yeah, this is Douglas Bank Cemetery. As I wander back into Pattiesmuir here, I'm met with two bits of interesting information. Now, I don't know if over the road there's a building, if that's the college, the old college building. It could be, but... So, development controversy, 1912. A two-storey building was added to house workers from nearby Rosyth dockyard after much controversy due to the size and scale not being In keeping with the rest of the hamlet, further planning, buildings of the same type were never built. And here we are 110 years later, in 2022, local builder Premier Homes commenced work on building 8 new properties to fill in gap sites within the hamlet. Local residents had raised concerns about size and scale of the proposed properties during the planning phase in a conservation area, amongst other concerns including wildlife, habitat loss and access issues. A blog was created to catalogue the process of the progress of the development by a resident. There was an escalation, with the developer accusing residents of a smear campaign in the local press. Oh, so it's all happened. We're on the wharf front here, walking through Pattiesmuir, especially with a camera, but no smear campaigns here. All I'm saying is, would somebody think about the poppies? I guess as well, if they keep developing outwards, when does it stop being Pattiesmuir and just become part of the Fife? You know, it's just a wee bit that's now just connected to the Fife as the houses eventually just merge together, because I think they're building out this way. It just depends on, I guess, the farmer or the person who owns the land, which is probably the farmer. You know, as a kid walking along this bit, there is something magical that transports you back in time as you come through this little part of the village. I love it here, and it is worth protecting and conserving, that is for sure. This house here is against it as well, and this one here. They've got signs right up. Oh, this is the angriest bit along here, because I guess this is where it's all happening. Greenwashed, overpriced, unwelcome. I've never walked right along to this end bit here. So, this is where they've been building, right here. This is the poppy field, no more. No prowling. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes the reason is you're stupid and make bad decisions. I love the sign, no prowling. You're not allowed to prowl around here. I'm prowling right now, so I'm prowling for information. Brancoma poses it. Green acres seem fine. Let's hope the owner of plot 8 gets along with the owner of plot 7. 6 new cars in addition to existing vehicles. That's angry. What's this? This is another sign. Have they really thought about this? Oh look, they've made their own signs. This land is owned by Morven Cottage. How can a pavement be built on land not owned? Where's Morven Cottage along there? Okay. 17 cars per day minimum will use the road at this point. Check trip count. Flood area. Gap is 2.12 cars use this road multiple times per day. Look at this. They've even got stats and graphs. If you go down to plot 8 today, you're in for a big surprise. There's nowhere to turn and nowhere to park. To buy it, it just wouldn't be wise. Poetry. When you turn right, if you're still alive, you'll have a great view of the A985. Not semi-rural as they've advertised, they're dreaming. I love this. This is like people power. Caution, septic tank and sewage pipes. Okay. Aha. This is it. We've found them. This is the new houses. We've got CCTV in operation already to protect it obviously from vandalism. They're nice houses. I get it though, they don't fit in with the look at the sign. Plot 7 has given up 113 metres septic tank and back garden, and then it's got a spewy emoji. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, I get it, it's not in fitting with the rest of the place or feel of the village that was built at a specific time in history. So I kind of understand it. This is a beautiful little path along here. Where are the cars going to go? Well, they have built lots of space here, but I guess the problem arises on the main roads with cars coming in and out etc. And you don't know how many cars one household brings. There's wee cottages all the way along here. This wee road along here is absolutely beautiful, so I can really understand and the disruption they've probably had to go through for the houses to get to this stage. I've only ever seen it from the main road. Didn't know any of this was happening. This is at the end. That's the first phase. This is the second phase, not completed, and this is the final phase, phase 3, scheduled for completion 2025. But I think that one was meant to be done 2024, but they're having issues. Well, there we go. That's me on the path, the road out of Pattiesmuir now, and I've got a lot more to think about Pattiesmuir than I came with before I came here. This has always just, as I said, been a nostalgic place where I've come through, but I do have a cherished place in my heart, so my instinct is to empathise fully with the residents of the area who are being impacted by the development. And it's tricky. I think it doesn't matter where you live. If you live in, you know, an area where there's a lot of houses, for example, there's issues everywhere with parking. There's so many cars on the roads, more people driving, so there are social issues that are happening in a wide scale issue, but it doesn't make it right. And these people have power to stand up against things happening where they live. They should have power, and if enough people say, nah, we don't want it, then that should be. That's democracy, right? It's pretty warm now. I tell you what, if you like seeing all the dogs, this is a good trip to come on. There's people take their general dog walkers taking big packs of dogs out along this way all the time, so you see all the beautiful dogs. Alright, free trail through this wee bit here. It's a nice place to end it. If I find that wee bomb shelter that I was looking for at the start. Mostly I just wanted to get off the path because there was folk coming behind me, and I was trying to talk to the camera and it was getting awkward, and you know, I was wanting to stop and film things, and I finally found it. I found the shelter that I was looking for earlier. Look, I found it. I found it just like that. How did I miss this? I'm not going in it, don't worry. Right, I'm back out on the path, and it is clear there's no one either direction, so I'm free to talk. I'm free to end my day. And what a day it has been. I love Pattiesmuir. I always find myself coming back here at some point in my life, and today was the day. Beautiful blue skies, and I've not only learned something about the past, the history here, I've enjoyed the present, the beautiful blue skies, but I've learned about the current controversies going on. And whatever you think about it, I guess what matters most is the people that live here currently. Their opinion matters most. I'm just glad that I was able to come today and document it. But aye, interesting place, Pattiesmuir. Not only beautiful, not only historical, it is just a really beautiful part of Scotland and Fife right here on the coast. The Fife coast, nestled right next to the Fife and Lime Kilns. Thanks for having me today, Pattiesmuir. I'll be back. Peace!
Well, it was a lovely to see you. It's the end of the show. Bring on tomorrow. Where shall we go? Where shall we go? Say goodnight to the Gingerman. One last ice cream for the bearded man. pistachio.